The mysteries of life encompasses a broad range of profound questions about existence, consciousness, and the universe. These mysteries include the origin of life, the nature of consciousness, the purpose of life, and what happens after death. Philosophers, scientists, and individuals alike have pondered these questions for centuries, seeking answers and meaning. For instance, the origin of life. Did life first arise from non-living matter? Was life formed on Earth, or was it transported from elsewhere in the universe? What were the conditions necessary for life to begin? The nature of consciousness. What is consciousness, and how does it arise from the physical brain? What is the relationship between consciousness and the physical world? Can consciousness exist independently of a physical body? The purpose of life. Is there an inherent purpose to human existence? Or is it what we make it? What gives life meaning and fulfillment? How do our actions and choices shape our lives and the world around us? Death and afterlife. What happens to consciousness after death? Are there other realms of existence beyond our physical world? Now, this brings us to discovering and fulfilling your purpose in life. This is what we would like to discuss in this episode. Discovering and fulfilling your purpose in life. Understanding your identity, origin, purpose, abilities, and future direction can lead to a fulfilling and impactful life. Understanding your identity. The question of who am I? This question encourages self-reflection to one's strengths, weaknesses, and unique qualities, prompting individuals to understand their true identity. The quest for identity is one of the most profound dilemmas facing humans today. The question, who am I, encourages us to explore our essence, values, and unique contributions to the world. Our identity often evolves with our experiences and choices, of which I would say, make your decisions and choices by their effects or consequences. However, without a clear understanding of ourselves, we may feel adrift, lacking purpose and direction. Many individuals seek validation and value through external influences, which can lead to further confusion as they weigh the opinions and expectations of others against their own inner truths. Now we move on to understanding your origin, which has to do with the question of where do I come from, which is your history, your source, your root, your foundation. This question explores one's origin and source, prompting reflection on their spiritual and personal foundation. Understanding our origin is a crucial part of our exploration. The question, where am I from, encourages us to reflect on our cultural, familiar, and historical context. These influences shape our identities and affect how we see our place in the world. The narratives we tell ourselves about our beginnings have significant implications for our self-perception. They can empower us to move forward or hold us back with fear and doubt. Next is to do with understanding your purpose. The question of Why am I here on earth? This question focuses on one's purpose and reason for being, urging individuals to identify their life's calling and what makes them happy or unhappy. Why am I here? This question often leads individuals to confront the existential challenge of seeking significance in their daily lives. Many people find themselves stuck in routines or jobs that do not align with their core values or passions. Acknowledging this challenge is the first step toward change. By clearly expressing our purpose, we can identify what really ignites our passion, guiding us toward a more meaningful existence. Next is understanding your abilities. The question of what can I do, which is your potentials. This question encourages self-assessment of one's abilities and natural talent, prompting individuals to identify their strengths and how they can be used effectively. What can I do? This question serves as a gateway to our potential. Many people live underutilized. Many people are unaware of their abilities. They live underutilized lives. By exploring our capabilities, whether they are innate talent or skills that can be developed, we access the vast reservoir of possibility within us. This realization can be transformative. It not only enhances self-esteem, but also opens up new opportunities for ventures and hobbies, encouraging personal growth and exploration. Next is understanding your future. The question of where do I go from here, which is the unknown, which is the tomorrow, which is your destination, which is your destiny. This question focuses on one's future aspirations and the legacy they wish to create, inspiring individuals to envision their potential impact and how they can make a difference. Where am I going? The final question, where am I going, encourages us to reflect on our future visions and aspirations. It often leads to deeper contemplation, compelling us to face our fears about the unknown. Much of the anxiety we feel about our futures stems from uncertainty regarding whether we are making the right choices. However, imagining our future can inspire us to establish actionable goals that drive us forward, providing a sense of control and direction in our lives. Life is a complex and often bewildering, which I would say confusing or perplexing journey. And one of the most perplexing aspects of it is the search for purpose. Individuals, regardless of their circumstances or stage in life, grapple or struggle with fundamental questions that shape their existence. We are seeking clarity and purpose in our lives. This world is filled with complexity and endless pursuit. The quest to understand one's purpose remains a timeless endeavor. Listeners and viewers here are invited to reflect on some pivotal questions posed by humanity. Who am I? Dealing with who you are in your earthly journey. Where am I from? Dealing with where were you before coming into this earth, your pre-existence. Why am I here on earth? Purpose of your earthly journey. Where am I going when I exit this world? Dealing with your eternal destination. Why was I born into this generation, this continent, this country, or this family? These are questions you ask yourself. Why wasn't I born into any other generation? Let's say in the BCs, but I am in the 80s, and in this 80s, perhaps you are from the 19th century and we are now in the 21st century. So if you are born within any of this generation, why were you born into this generation? The continent you are in now, why were you born into that continent, whether you're in Africa or Asia? Or the country you were in, why were you born into that country? Or the family you were in, why were you born into that family? Why were you born a male or a female? These are some of the mysteries that this platform will answer. These questions are not merely philosophical musings, which is a period of reflection or a period that you think. They serve as practical guides that can lead to a fulfilling and impactful life, which influence every aspect of human existence. The pursuit of personal realization involves grappling with these timeless questions that guide us through the complexities of our minds. This journey is not straightforward. It requires patience, introspection, and sometimes external guidance. A holistic approach to these questions fosters deep reflection, aligns our actions with our core values, and ultimately leads to a more fulfilled existence. As we examine the interplay between fundamental questions and success, we uncover transformative insights that drive us deeper into our journey of self-discovery. To unravel these puzzling life mysteries is the reason behind revealing life mysteries, to explore what is difficult for artificial intelligence, that is AI, or mortal to understand. Now, when we say purpose, what do we mean by purpose? The purpose means the motive, the basis, the justification, the intention, the aim, the objective, the goal, the plan, the target, the ambition, the desire, the benefit, and to say the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. So what is the reason of your existence? And the reason of your existence is the purpose why you exist. That's why we asked previously. And I throw it as a question also to you to ponder. That, why am I here on earth? Purpose is the seed. When a farmer is going to plant, he gets a seed that he plants. So purpose is the seed. Developing yourself or self-development and self-education in your area of purpose is what I call as watering your seed purpose. So when a seed is planted, then it is watered. Rain comes and then quicken that seed, and that seed germinates. So in other words, the development is the watering, the training, the studying, the education, either personal or schooling, the research, what you watch or listen to or read, all contribute to the watering of your seed. In this case, your seed purpose. The most powerful thing is the truth. Lack of knowledge will make you perish. So lack of knowledge of your purpose will make you perish. And the battle is in the mind. What puts you into bondage is ignorance and the lie. You find life by discovering and finding your purpose or gift. When you find your gift, nobody will even tell you to develop it. Your success is based on your gift. Your greatness is in your gift. The success of a fish is in water. Therefore, your environment counts. Your success is in discovering and fulfilling your purpose. Now, I repeat again, your success is in discovering and fulfilling your purpose. And when we say to discover means the thing is covered or hidden. Therefore, you have to uncover it, or you have to unlock it. You have to open it. You have to unseal it. And to fulfill your purpose is to put into action what you have uncovered or unlocked. So after you have found your purpose, then you have to put it into action. The last thing your enemy wants you to know is your purpose. Deception takes you away from your purpose. So some people say, I have enemy, I have this. The very enemy you have is the one who is not telling you your purpose, who is not letting you discover who you are. That is why Revealing Life Mystery is here to help you identify your real purpose, to unravel these life mysteries that has been difficult for scientists and even philosophers. People in ancient times have been probing. But I tell you, when you have chance on this channel or on this podcast, and as you follow so many things we bring along, it will really quicken you to your self and true consciousness. Your work is what you are born to do, but your job is what you are paid to do. Your work is your gift or purpose of your existence. For instance, the purpose of a product is built into the product by the manufacturer. This means your purpose is already built in you, but you have to search, research, and discover what is covered in you. What you are born to do is already a finished product placed in you, but you need to find the knowledge or the manual that guides the usage of that product. In this case, you as a being is the product. For instance, take a mobile phone company that manufactures a phone. You don't buy the phone and later put in the specs. The manufacturer of that phone has already put in every spec for the phone to function and tested its function even before bringing it into the market. In this case, the product in the market is you, the individual that have come into this world. The market is the world. The product is you, the individual. But you need to study the manual the manufacturer placed in the box or the package to know how to operate the phone. So in this case, when you are coming into this universe, into this earth, there's a manual attached to you, of which you have to study it before you start operating your purpose. That's why I'm using a phone as an example for you. Any other product with a manual could be used as an example, but phone is something that everybody uses it. The phone has so many functions that we only use few of it because we don't read and study the manual well. No one knows the product well more than the manufacturer. The manual reveals the mind of the manufacturer by providing instructions or guidelines on how to use the product. The success of the product affects the credibility and the survival of that company. That is why you have been given the manual to read carefully before you use the product. What is the meaning of manual? Now, manual is coming from two words. We have manu and al. Manu means to make, and al means to think. So when you combine those two words, manual means the manufacturers or the makers or the creator's mind on paper concerning the product. The manual is a book of promises, laws, instructions, and the image or the name of that company. If the product doesn't function well, the name of the company is at stake. That is why the company even gives you a warranty. What do we mean by warranty in this case? A warranty is a written guarantee of the integrity of a product and of the maker's responsibility for the repair or replacement of defective parts. The laws in the manual are given to guarantee success, but not to restrict you. You have to read the manual completely or fully before you start to use the product, but not just what others see. How many of us read the manual well before we use the product? Sometimes we are even in haste to just use the product and we throw away the manual. But we are advised to read the manual well before even you switch on the product. Therefore, to answer the question of who am I, dealing with who you are in your earthly journey, where am I from, dealing with where were you before coming into this earth, your pre-existence, why am I here on earth, purpose of your earthly journey, where am I going when I exit this world, dealing with your eternal destination, what really happens after death, why was I born into this generation, this continent, this country, this family, will require us to consult the true manual of life that guides our very existence. This will lead us to the next episode, the manual of life. So let us anticipate as we ponder over this and wait for the next episode, the manual of life.